Hey guys, so I have been gone to Texas for I got back like a week and a half ago. And this is like the first video I'm doing for the second channel in weeks, if not months. And the reason I think it took me this long, well, one is because I was terribly sick, like really, really sick. I'm all better now, well, mostly better. I'm like 99% of the way back. But another reason that I haven't made a lot of content for this channel, at least in my mind, is because it's just so weird. And I mean that in like the best way possible. I'm probably going to title this video something like hating social media but being a YouTuber, because I am not in any way, shape, or form used to being on social media, like at all. So for people who know me, basically, I have a Twitter, but I don't run it. I don't do anything on it. I'm not on Facebook. I'm not on Instagram. And I think, honest to God, a huge reason is because I never really got into like Facebook or MySpace when I was younger. And I feel like the seeds of using social media were never planted in me. And because of that, I never hopped onto those platforms when I was an adult, because I just never saw the appeal really when I was younger. A lot of my interactions were really, I think, one-on-one communicative with other people through like texting. I love texting. I generally like being on phone calls. Generally, there's some times where I'm very averse to it, but I never like vibed with the idea of posting my life to just like a platform where people could just like see it all the time, and then like looking at other people's lives. It just like never interested me. Now, granted, growing up, I think I was a very secretive person, or I at least liked keeping things relatively close to the chest and letting people know those things once they got closer to me. But for the most part, I just found absolutely no interest in going on social media and doing kind of like the comparative lifestyle thing, like, oh, look how interested. Also, because I will say, I don't really care about what other people are doing. I know that sounds almost like misanthropic or, you know, kind of like mean, but like I genuinely, I'm happy if you are living your life and you're happy about it, but like I don't need to know about it, or I'm not invested in that at all. Again, unless you're like my friend and stuff like that. But I don't know. And I think another part of it obviously is that me going into psychology and seeing people around me and their interactions with social media, I got to see firsthand the detriments of it. And we don't even know as a society all the horrible things that happen because of social media. But all this is to say, basically, I never established the groundwork or the framework, or got off my training wheels to feel comfortable just posting unmeaningful nonsense to social media about me or my life. And you can very obviously see that in my main channel, and really kind of on this channel too, where everything I post, it really has a purpose. And I struggle to even put myself in the position of other people who legitimately just want to like listen to someone else talk or have their perspective on something, when it's not coming from a place of genuine like objective quality, right? So like, again, all the stuff that I make on my regular channels are based in like writing, or things that could help someone become a better writer with the industry, or understanding the material, or from a psychological background, because again, luckily I have my master's. So I guess not luckily, I paid a whole bunch of money, I'm in a whole bunch of debt now because of it, but I have my master's and I want to be able to help people that way. And so this idea of even having a second channel, I know I wanted to do it because like I felt that there was some kind of good that can come from me being able to connect with people more, and being able to talk with my community, and being able to not just format things with kind of this wall of content between people. But it is so difficult for me to continuously upload, because like in my mind, why would you guys ever care about the things that I would have to say that don't offer like immediate value to something that you guys are doing? And it's because I don't think that way. Like generally, there's maybe like 2 or 3 people that I watch online that just do like opinion pieces, and half the time those people are like experts in their field, right? And then I have to remember, of course, that like I am an expert in a lot of the stuff that I talk about, you know, writing and then emotions and psychology and that kind of stuff. And so that's why people would want to hear me. But now this is completely different. And like the YouTube game is just like so weird, because there is a market for this and people have asked me to do this. And it's something that I want to do, but something that I'm definitely just not pulled to do. So regardless, a lot of what I'm going to try to do on this channel too is stuff with my books. I have a lot more lore drops for anybody who likes that. Granted, I post them on my main channel in the short section, but I do that, and then obviously here's for like the stream highlights and whatnot. But I'm going to try to record pretty frequently here, but it's going to be, I think, a learning experience, trying to consistently do this and trying to put myself in the right headspace, because as soon as I sit down in this chair, like I can't impress upon you guys enough like what happens. I legitimately like lose the will to be able to speak into this camera because I feel no one will care. Why would anyone want to listen to me? It's the strangest thing. And I have to, of course, I think about that even in my regular channel. Like to this day, there are people, you know, I've gotten really heartwarming calls and conversations from people who watch my content and being like, yeah, you're like a foundational part of writing YouTube, or like, you know, you're one of like the big channels in writing, or you're like, you know, one of the most authoritative voices on YouTube when it comes to writing. You know, people think of me along with like the other big channels, and I never think of myself that way. I always think of myself as just a guy, and because I think most of it comes from the detachment from, I don't find my identity in YouTube at all. I don't find my identity in social media. I try not to interact with social media as much as possible, even though I think monetarily it'd probably be good. I'd probably make a ton more money if I was with, you know, all of the different ways that people interact with social media and the drama and the clout chasing and all that kind of stuff. But I'm just not like that. But I do want to be able to create something on this channel that is a bit more consistent, a bit more reliable, and I'm going to start giving my opinion on, like, or I should say my outlooks, my hopefully professional and authoritative outlooks on things relevant to the things that I'm experiencing and the things that other people are experiencing. Because there's a lot of stuff in fiction and outside of fiction that do revolve around writing and psychology, two things that I know I can talk about. And again, because I've been literally a clinical therapist, I think there are things that I could say that hopefully would genuinely help people. So the YouTube game is just so weird. Having an opportunity to do this, being able to make money doing this, being able to speak to a group of people and help people that you've never met, that you've never seen. And again, there's a ton of people that I've been able to talk to. A lot of my patrons, if you're watching, you know who you are, who are just like amazing people who have only been able to access me because of what I do here. Hope you guys have enjoyed this ramble a little bit more. It is me getting out of my comfort zone again, or like, I guess not opening up, but just giving you guys some insight into the difficulties that I experience, you know. And I don't think it's necessarily something anybody prepares you for when you make your job doing this. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope to make more, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. All right, so see ya.